What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome back to the TheSlamDuncan YouTube channel. I want to break down the new look, or what Billy Donovan used, random offense for the Chicago Bulls that we saw in the preseason. As the Bulls need to get away from the isolation ball that we saw a lot last year, how can they diversify their offense and use every single player to the best of their capabilities? I want to break it all down in this video, but before we get into it all, make sure you hit that like button if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. You guys saw this in the thumbnail, so I want to just kind of back up this play, get rid of all the markings and stuff, and like start this play from the beginning. But before we get into that, though, to talk about what the Bulls are looking for, it's this, right? The ability to have like a more diverse offense, and you can see that many people have written about this, about having randomness into the offense. And this is something that Billy Donovan talked about before the Bulls played their first preseason game, about how not having so much iso ball, not relying on DeMar DeRozan or Zach LaVine or Nikola Vucevic solely, and trying to get guys to move a lot, and have really basically a 5-out offense. Like, I call this a 5-out offense with this Chicago Bulls team, because we have even Andre Drummond, who somehow hit 3 threes this preseason, standing at the 3-point line. So let's just go through this play that the Bulls ran with their second unit. This is an alley-oop to Andre Drummond. So that's what the Bulls are trying to get to in this play. And what you're going to see here is all this off-ball movement. Right away, you can already see that this is going to be a pin down with Patrick Williams and Andre Drummond sending a pin down for Kobe White. So we have this double pin down set automatically just starting at the beginning of this play here. So Kobe's going to come off of this right here. But as this is happening, pay attention to this man, Alex Caruso. Pay attention to what he does as this play starts to get going here. So Dragic brings it up. Here comes the pin down, right? And immediately you're already seeing Alex Caruso's moving, right? This is good. This is what we want. We want to have movement no matter where the ball is, and to get the defense's attention, especially the off-ball defenders like Davon Reed right here, away from the ball, okay? So pin down's happening. Alex Caruso's moving. Kobe White's coming to the ball. So this could be just a simple little toss to Kobe White, and it's going to be a handoff right back to Andre Drummond. Or sorry, excuse me, Goran Dragic. Now what we're going to see here is Caruso, as we saw at the beginning of the play, started moving. Now he's going to move all the way over here to the corner. And as this is happening, as you see the ball's going back to Dragic, Patrick Williams is going to come on over here and set a screen, basically a pin down for Alex Caruso to come off of. Kobe White, who just got the ball and is going to hand it right back off to Dragic here, he's going to come over here and take his defender with him to create even more space. And then Goran Dragic is going to have a pick and roll set with Andre Drummond. Drummond's going to come up here, set the screen, and they're going to basically run a simple pick and roll. So this play is just going to continue to develop here. And as you see, in this set moment, the pick has been set, the on-ball pick has been set. It's a simple pick and roll. Look at what's happening over here for the Denver Nuggets. Look at Jeff Green, look at Davon Reed. They have no clue what's happening right now with the ball at the top of the key. Their full focus is on Caruso and Patrick Williams to make sure they don't mess up a simple pin down action, right? This is how the Bulls can create space without having the greatest 3-point shooters, right? Off-ball movement, player movement can create space within the offense, even if you don't have the best 3-point shooters on your team. So, just this action alone is able to get Andre Drummond a wide open lob to the rim. Because look, these two defenders that Caruso and Patrick Williams were occupying, they're not in position to come over and help on this Andre Drummond roll, and therefore the Bulls get a simple and easy lob to the rim. Now, the Bulls actually run this play a lot, and you specifically see in the second unit mostly, but in this play right here, it's a very similar set. But you actually see there's a slight tweak. So you want to talk about randomness in an offense, right? This play starts out the same, but there's a little slight difference in the play. And this is good so that defenses can't just be expecting, oh, here comes this play again. So same thing here. You're already kind of seeing it. This is a pin down, right? Pin down, double pin down screen for the person in the corner, right? And then you're going to see, I would assume, is going to come on over here. And again, it's Dragic with the basketball, okay? So Alex Caruso is going to come off the double pin down by Patrick Williams and Nikola Vucevic, right? Similar action, right? Now, as I said earlier, I would assume was moving. But the one slight difference in this play is that Patrick Williams is also going to come off this pin down, right? Vucevic basically set 2 screens for 2 players. And so Patrick Williams is also going to follow and tail Caruso to the ball, okay? In the previous play, we saw Patrick Williams over here, and he would be setting a screen for Dosunmu to come off of, right? But he's not doing that in this play. He's instead coming off a pin down like Caruso is, and you're going to see the similar thing. Caruso's going to catch the ball, he's going to throw it right back to Goran Dragic. Now, instead of Andre Drummond, or in this case, Nikola Vucevic, the big man coming up to set the on-ball screen, as we saw in the previous video, or in the previous play, we see now Vucevic, he's going to come over and basically set a third pin down screen for Ayo Dosunmu to come on off of, right? But instead of Vucevic setting the on-ball screen, you're going to have Patrick Williams come up over here, and he's going to set the on-ball screen instead, okay? And again, all this is just to occupy the off-ball defenders. Occupy every single defender. I mean, look at Javon Carter right now. He has no clue what's happening at the top of the key, okay? So he's tailing Caruso. Caruso hands it back, or sorry, he's tailing Ayo Dosunmu. Caruso hands it back to Goran Dragic. Simple pick and roll between Dragic and Patrick Williams, okay? And now it's on Dosunmu and Vucevic to occupy their defenders over here. And it basically ends up in the exact same, with the exact same result, which is a lob to the rim off of a pick and roll. Unfortunately, Patrick Williams isn't able to capitalize off of it, but you're seeing how effective this off-ball movement is. This type of stuff we did not see at all last season. That was not a play in the Bulls book last season. I'm happy to see this being implemented into this Bulls offense. Now, let's do a play with the starters, right? Now, the starters have been known to being ISO heavy, obviously with LaVine and DeRozan, I mean, two of the best ISO players in the game. And we want, those players to be isolating when, it's late game situation, when the game really slows down, right? But when it's the middle of the third quarter, we don't want that, right? We don't want to bog down our offense. We want to play fast. We want to have the ball movement. So Dosunmu brings it up. Javonte Green's just going to pass it over to Vucevic. Now, this is something that the Bulls have been actually doing quite a lot of in the preseason, which is having a center all the way out here. I mean, look at where Vucevic is, right? You're used to having Vucevic all the way in the paint, right? Or, looking to post up. And Vucevic has posted up a lot in the preseason. But you're having sets like this where Vucevic is the hub of the offense, and basically kind of like the point guard in a sense, where he's the one that's making the decisions. He's the one passing the ball to everyone. And what's so effective with this is because Vucevic can obviously shoot the three. Well, look at all the space, right, in the paint. This allows any of these guys to cut to the rim, and if they're open, Vucevic can make that direct line drive pass. But that's not happening in this play. Instead, we're actually going to see here an inverse pick and roll with Vucevic and Javonte Green. Talk about random, right? You're going to see Javonte Green set basically a 5-4 pick and roll, which is just so weird to say. And you're going to see Vucevic, again, basically be the hub in this play. So you have the 5-4 pick and roll with Green and Vucevic. And as this happens, you see that DeRozan and Dosunmu switched position. So now Dosunmu's going to the corner, and DeRozan's coming up to get the ball, right? Now, keep in mind, what's so important about that little simple 5-4 pick and roll by Green and Vucevic. Look what Javonte Green just did. He just drew two defenders somehow, right? And Green is known for his hard cutting. If he cuts hard to the rim, he's drawing a defender, right? That's exactly what we want, because what's about to happen here is Vucevic and DeRozan, they're about to run a pick and roll. And you want to give these two guys as much space as possible. And if Green's able to occupy his defender, or even take Vucevic's defender in best case scenario, which, it's not going to happen every time, these two guys, the two guys guarding Dosunmu and LaVine, they can't help on this top of the key pick and roll, right? I know it's messy, sorry. But you want to create as much space as possible for this pick and roll duo here to get to allow them just to operate. And you're going to see that it actually does its job. And because they did their job so well, they had to call a foul. You saw that they were grabbing Green because Green was cutting hard to the rim, and two guys collided together and had no clue what to do. But you see here that this created all the space at the top of the key for DeRozan and Vucevic to run their pick and roll set, which is awesome, which is exactly what we want to see. So just giving you some half-court sets of this new Bulls 5-out random offense. Now, I want to put a big emphasis on the 5-out part, because this is something that the Bulls are kind of changing this year, which is you're starting to see a lot of these you're seeing a lot of possessions here for the Bulls where you're like, okay, can we get a quick bucket even if it's off a make? Or if the defense gambles, can we just go right to the rim? So for example, I want to show you why it's so important to be 5-out on the offense when you start, at least, right? Because the Bulls are starting 5-out, like everyone's standing at the 3-point line. This is a made basket by the Denver Nuggets, okay? And immediately you're seeing here, now this is also poor defense by the Denver Nuggets, but you want to emphasize 5-out here, because what does this allow to happen? Well, a simple little play like this, right? I would assume it's a Javonte Green alley-oop. Again, poor defense, but if Vucevic, for example, ran down and basically posted up or basically took space up in the paint, the Bulls don't get this, right? That's the reason why it's so important to stay 5 out. So if you're like, well, this is like a poor defensive possession, let me show you this possession. Again, 5 out offense, half court set here. Kobe White tries to run a simple pick and roll. It doesn't really work. Now Caruso, watch what Caruso does in this possession here. I talked about defense gambling, right? If a defense gambles and they don't get the ball, what's going to happen? You want the Bulls to take advantage, right? So Caruso's going to grab the ball here, but keep an eye on Pascal Siakam in this possession. Caruso gets the ball. It looks like it's going to be a simple handoff pick and roll screen for DeRozan. But instead of Caruso actually setting the screen and handing it off, he keeps the ball. Pascal Siakam gambled, right? And now Caruso's gone. But because it's 5 out, because Vucevic is out on the perimeter and not standing here, right? He's all the way out here. It allows Caruso to get a driving lane to the rim. Opens up the paint for the rest of this Bulls team. That's why the 5 out is so important. And it even allows Caruso to be in that position where it's like, I could hand it off, or I actually have the ability to just drive and slip or fake the handoff and go right to the rim on a play like this. And the Bulls get a dunk out of it because the Raptors were gambling on that possession. Another example, again, half court set, the Bulls just inbounded the ball, okay? So you see here, Precious Achiuwa is all the way out half court guarding Ayo Dosunmu, which is like, what? Now the Raptors do that a lot. But right here, Ayo Dosunmu can take advantage of Precious Achiuwa with his speed because he's out in the half court and not or all the way out at half court and in the open floor. So what's important here is, again, 5 out. Because Ayo Dosunmu now has the step over Precious Achiuwa, he's able to get a driving lane. Again, 5 out offense. Look at where Vucevic is. He's at the 3-point line, right? And Scotty Barnes has to be aware of this. So because of this, now you have to see the defense react, and because they're already so spread, you got Kobe White's man sliding on over to try to block up Ayo Dosunmu, which then opens up a 3-point shot for Kobe White. Bulls are able to take advantage of this because, again, 5 out offense. This is the randomness that Billy Donovan wants, where it's like we don't have to run a set play. We can just get right into our offensive set immediately, even if it's a half-court set and when we just inbounded the ball. This is what we want, and this is another play here I want to show you. So, again, the Raptors, they make this basket, okay? Watch what happens. Inbounded to DeRozan quick. We talked about pace with this team. This is what we want. And, again, look at how everyone is just setting up. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. They're basically trotting up to the 3-point line. They're not looking to get into the paint here. This is the initial set for every single half-court possession. It's 5 out, 5 out, 5 out. And DeRozan's going to just run basically what looks like is going to be pick and roll, but it's just a simple isolation play. And because the Bulls were 5 out, there's no one in the paint, right? This entire area is unoccupied. It allows DeRozan to go ahead, drive into this. Sorry, you can't see the red. But again, you want to keep these guys all the way out on the perimeter to allow driving spaces like this. This wasn't a set play, right? This wasn't like a play call. And because of this, DeRozan gets an easy basket. This is the importance of the 5 out offense. And I hope the Bulls continue to do this and continue with the set where you start 5 out. Eventually, you're going to have someone run into the paint, right? That's always going to happen. It's basketball. But to start the play, especially a half-court set, I think you're going to see a lot of plays where it's just everyone's standing at the 3-point line to start. And if the defense gambles or the defense makes a mistake, the Bulls have a wide open paint to go and try to get a bucket or draw multiple defenders to kick it out for a 3-point shot. That's awesome stuff by this Bulls team. Just to end this, just because I'm going to be talking about Ayo Dosunmu all season, just watch Ayo Dosunmu on this defensive possession. I want to just point this out because I love Ayo. Look at what he does right there. That's phenomenal defense. Something that the Bulls need to continue for the rest of the season is to see the first line of defense be there to not allow the driving lane. That time you saw Dosunmu come over, stop the drive, had to kick it back out for the 3. He misses the shot. Can Porter Jr. make that shot? Absolutely. But it doesn't matter. You want to force a 3-point shot than rather than giving up the layup. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed me breaking down the Bulls' 5 out offense and random offense that Billy Donovan is going to be hoping to run all season. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.